Hi everyone, it's me. If you're new here, my name is Alanna and I'm a Canadian, but I live here in the UK. And if you're not new here, hey, how's it going? You might remember a long time ago, I did a video making a grilled cheese and just like chatting. Would you believe that that video was over 7 years ago? But somehow I am still here and I have had a day. Maybe you've had a day. I've had a day. And I thought it would be nice to make a grilled cheese with you guys, chat about life and existence and getting older constantly. I actually just celebrated another birthday. Yay! Another year closer to death. Oh! Beautiful. Cheers, everybody. There is something so comforting and cozy about a grilled cheese, especially after having a day. So I would like to do that now, if you don't mind. How's that? Can you guys see? Hello. Welcome to this part of the kitchen. Now, normally I would never make a grilled cheese with this kind of bread. If I'm doing a grilled cheese, it's typically like the cheapest, just pre-cut, pre-sliced loaf, you know what I mean. But I actually have this stuff, the Tesco's Finest Stone-Baked White Crusty Bloomer. Ooh, can you see it? It's going stale and we need to eat it. So I've just had another birthday. Happy birthday to me. Maybe you are a March baby as well, in which case, happy birthday to you. I just had another birthday and it hit me that I have spent more of my adult life in England than I have in Canada. And that makes me spiral. It is an existential crisis that only cheese can solve, which actually, what kind of cheese do you like for your grilled cheese? Now, I love cheese. If you've ever watched any of my videos, maybe that comes across. If not, hi, I love cheese. And the UK has some of the best cheese that I've ever had. My personal go-to favorite, like that's not too crazy expensive, but is still really nice, is the David Sow 12 months classic. I've tried the 24 month, which is just like a little bit too funky for day-to-day operations. I will only buy this when it is on sale. I'm not made of cheese money, but this stuff is really good. I'm gonna use a separate chopping board so it doesn't get all the crumbs in it. Anyway, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Is that cheese or fluff? I haven't written anything necessarily to talk about. I thought we would just talk. So, what is it like being a foreigner in England? That is a good question. Oh my god. I know we're about to cook with cheese, but this is like my snacking cheese. As with anything in life, there are pros and cons. And there are certainly pros and cons to living in England. Sometimes I get foreigners either like, oh, that's not a good one. That's too thin. Sometimes I get questions from foreigners, either like people that I know or people online. I get like emails and stuff and people are like, is it worth like the heartache and the financial toll and everything? And I think everybody knows the answer and the answer is different to everyone. But you won't know the answer for you until you try. So I tried at 22, I moved here. What a decision that was. Currently in my like UK life, I am hoping to go for, hold on. I'm hoping to go for citizenship in the summertime, sort of into the fall, maybe. But it has been a long time coming. 10 years in the making. Expensive. Beyond belief. But what I was trying to get to earlier, my earlier thought, I want to do citizenship, and maybe after that point when like the visa situation is fully done, I'd like to do a video basically recapping how much it's actually cost from start to finish, because I think people would be quite shocked. But whether it's worth it just comes down to, are there more pros than cons for you as a person? Because I've met loads of foreigners who, there's just too many cons. They can't get past certain elements of life here. They keep comparing it to how it's done back home, and I totally get that. But if there's too many cons, there's too many cons. For me, the pros outweigh the cons. I love life here. I love, not everything, but I love how British people, I don't know, function largely. Is that weird to say? I just said it. One thing I guess that's a little bit different about my situation is this, Adventures in Naps. So I started Adventures in Naps. I think I was living in England for maybe 2 years at that point. And long story short, I needed something. I needed a hobby. I needed something to put my time and energy into. I was deeply lonely and lost, and I just didn't know what was going on. So thankfully, YouTube was there. I'd never like really got into YouTube before, and I just, you know, why not? And then this YouTube channel as a hobby was very much born. Did I expect to be here like however many years later still creating content? And also, like, this is now my job, which is insane. Long story short, no, I did not expect it, but I am so grateful to still be doing it. Sorry for pointing with knives throughout this video. An assortment of knives. But what I was trying to say earlier before I got distracted, the thing that's a little bit different with me is having this channel, it's about being a foreigner living in the UK, right? Talk about my experiences, learning about British stuff, all of it. But at some point, this channel will no longer be like a thing. I won't be able to do it as a job, and that is really weird because part of my personality and part of my like identity is kind of tied into Adventures in Naps, which is probably not very healthy. But it's the longest thing I've ever done, ever. It's longer than any relationship I've been in, any house that I've ever lived in, any job that I've ever had, any school that I've gone to school at. Like, it really is, and that's kind of hard to believe. Time just gets away from you. But it is the thing that I've done the longest, the thing I've spent the most amount of time on. So it's kind of hard to picture my life in which it is not in it. But that will come someday, and I do have to be able to have an identity outside of I'm a foreigner living in the UK. Does that make sense? Anyway, nothing like some light conversation on a gloomy, rainy day. It rained sideways today. All right, so if you're following along, this is a very complex recipe. You want to butter and or margarine and or, I personally like Bertolli light. You want to do that on the outsides. Now, cheese. Should I put my hair up? Absolutely. Am I going to? Probably not. I don't know where a hair elastic is. Now, obviously, we're going to do our David style, but I also just bought, Tesco does the like 2 cheese slices for I don't know how much. It's a discount and it sucks me in every single time. So we've got Edam and we've got Gouda. How cheesy do we want to make it? That is the question. The limit does not exist. Anyway, let's move over here. How's that? The lighting over here is always really nice. Is that sarcastic? Definitely not. What I like to do is just assemble in the pan. This is the pan that we're using. What I think we're gonna do, I'm not eating 2 sandwiches, I'm making one for my partner, okay? Before you leave a comment. I think we're gonna use all 3 types of cheese. Who cares? This type of bread is not the ideal. Okay, maybe that might be too much cheese. Anyway, what else should we talk about being a foreigner? I always say it's never perfect, and I try to be very upfront about that stuff when we talk about, you know, my genuine experiences. I'm not gonna kiss your butt, do you know what I mean? And I don't think you would really respect me if I did. I personally wouldn't respect myself if I did. So I try to be very honest and blunt about my experiences. I know sometimes that upsets some British people, and I still get the question or the comment like, if you don't like it, why don't you go back to where you came from? But I think that's a very childish view. You can dislike certain things of a place and still love it. Do you know what I mean? I can't believe we're having to have this conversation, but here we are. And now that it's been 10 years, I definitely find it's very weird going back to Canada. There's certain elements that I just kind of like fall into and that feel very comforting and very familiar, but there's also a lot of elements of going back home that I don't like about Canada, that I find really annoying, that I'm just like, you know, why can't we do it like England does it? Do you know what I mean? The cheese on these is gonna overflow. It's like Tetris. You have to get them all lined up nicely. One thing I love here is there's a real like definitive culture. Not to say that Canada doesn't have a culture, but I just don't think we are old enough to have that type of culture. So here, whether that's like incredibly historic buildings, or I did a vlog recently where I went to Rochester. I love Rochester. And there's a cathedral and a castle, and there's like Charles Dickens stuff everywhere. It's just like Canada doesn't have that. And I find as a Canadian, it's something that I really love. Okay, I have to turn this on now. So please disregard the sound. I had a good day today, just a long day. I spent all day editing, which is fine. Like, editing is a huge component of this whole thing, but it was all day, and I got to the point where I was starting to feel like I was going cross-eyed. What else would you guys like to talk about? Oh, while you are here, if you are still here, thank you so much. Thank you for making this possible. I never in a million years considered we would be here. I'll just say that. While you are still here, before I scare you off, okay, so rewind. Every year I do a birthday live stream marathon on Twitch, and my one coming up like for this year, for this birthday, is this Friday, the 6th of March. So I'll probably start around 5 p.m.-ish. And that will be on my Twitch page, which is twitch.tv/Adventures in Apps. I live stream there every week, twice a week, but we do this marathon thing for my birthday. So I live stream as long as the audience dictates. So last year, it was Friday, and it streamed all the way till Monday night. So if you want to join in, I will be starting on Friday. No worries if not. But this last sort of month, really, I've been planning it. So we do like activities and challenges and stuff. But also I have to get my videos backlogged, because obviously I can't film while I'm live streaming and stuff. So it's been a busy month, but a good month. I guess technically it's the beginning of a new month, but to me, all months kind of bleed into each other. Can you keep an eye on that while I put the cheese away? Thank you. Now, I said I liked the culture. Can you imagine if that just fell? I would kill myself. So I do like the culture. What do I not like? The thing for me is my family, my friends. Pretty much everything about my life in Canada can be replicated in kind of like a British way here, but I can't replicate my family. And so that is the thing that is always the most difficult. There's no way around it. It is what it is. I make sure to budget every year so I can go home every summertime, typically, summer sort of fall-ish. I go home for about 2.5 weeks, like quite a lengthy chunk. And then the last like 4 years, I want to say, maybe 4? Not 5, definitely not. Let's say 4. For the last 4-ish years, my mom's been coming here for a week just before Christmas. So I find that's like a nice balance. I get to go home, I see all the family, do all the family stuff. It's kind of crazy and hectic, but nice, sunny, warm weather. And then at Christmas time, mom comes here and we can have like more of a quiet time together. We do British bits. We go to the pub. We do like presents and stuff. So it's kind of like a happy compromise. But I am very lucky that I can go home and she can come here. In terms of like flights, London to Toronto is not awful. It's not great, but it's not awful. Oh, you know what? I got this chef press for my partner for Christmas. Do you think? I mean, the butter will stick to it, but that's kind of fun. Anyway, what else is there to talk about? Life. It's just, it does not slow down. Don't make fun of my flipping skills. Pretty good though, right? Even go backhand. Another question I get asked like somewhat frequently is, do I think I'll move back to Canada? And wow, what a question that is. Quite simply, I don't know. I don't know. I certainly, like, the option is there. I can always go home if something happens, but I also feel like this is my home as well. So if I were to go home to Canada, go back to Canada for whatever reason, it would be bittersweet no matter what. Because I do love my life here. I do love England. I feel very settled here. And it would be really sad to leave it. But who knows what's going to happen in the next 10 years. Do you guys have a 10-year plan? Is that something that I should be making? Because currently my plan is to talk to you guys, make a grilled cheese, and then eat said grilled cheese. And then tonight, I would like to watch an episode. We've been watching The Pit. So I'd like to watch an episode of that, ideally not while I'm eating. And I'm also crocheting a new project. I'm crocheting a blanket, so I want to sit on the couch and crochet my blanket. And that is my current plan. Look at that, we are almost there. When I was a kid and we would have grilled cheese, my mom would always do like tomato soup, which not a fan personally. So as an adult, when I do the grilled cheese, I usually skip the soup. I think it's time. They're really starting to explode, so I think we go for it. Can you see? What a nutritious meal. Okay, how many knives can I use? Personally, this is my favorite for cutting grilled cheese, all right? I will not apologize. Oh, look at that. You can't see that, but it looks great. Divine. And one final touch, you have to have ketchup. If you don't have ketchup, what's the point? Okay, don't tell anybody, but we're going to eat this on the couch, all right? I know, what a heathen. Okay, everyone, moment of truth. Even if this is bad, and there's literally no way that it would be, I've had a really nice time. And I hope you have too. Oh my God. Is it all over my face? I hope you guys can join me for my birthday marathon live stream this Friday and or potentially on the weekend. If you're busy, don't worry about it. I hope you're having a wonderful March. Is it spring? Nearly. Today has been a stressful, exhausting, busy day, but honestly, this was really nice. I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like to watch one of my other videos, honestly, that would mean so much to me. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye!